The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
I'm not really sure why, but it feels like this is the comic series and my shot is messed up. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another comically long review. I'm not really sure why, but it feels like this is the series that I've been away from for the longest. Looking back on it, it does actually seem like Mighty Morphin issue number 6 was the last comic I did before work at my former job got really busy and it got tough for me to make videos. However, things have changed. I have a new job, more free time, and we are on the catching up train. It is time to get back to a domed up Angel Grove and the teenagers with attitude that are trying to break the city free. Let's take a look at Mighty Morphin issue number 7. I love the main cover of this issue. It is one of the best I've seen, and I am not even kidding. It's Lord Zedd standing in the command center facing off against Zordon. But it is hyper detailed. The segmentation on the armor on Zedd's spine, the facial features on Zordon's face, the warning screens all over the place. The only thing that takes away from it is whoever this is and a white bolt on the right. Okay, so this cover is a bit of a story, which I will tell quickly. You might remember me mentioning that I switched from getting my comics locally to ordering them online. Apparently that happened right as this issue came out, because last time when I wanted to preview what was next, I realized that I didn't have this book anywhere. Going to order it online, I saw that you could get this variant, the Legacy cover, at the same price as the standard issue. Now, I wish I had looked at the main cover because I actually like that one a lot better. Anyway, this cover shows the Rangers in Angel Grove, chaos putties falling from the sky, and they seem to be using winter coats as a disguise, or it's cold in there for some reason. Okay, this is the best blank color cover of the bunch. We knew it was coming, it's appropriate to a Ranger color, but it's white. It makes it look completely blank. And the wrong color cover is Kimberly. I'm not sure what these circle symbols mean, but you can see the pterodactyl nose over her nose. Over 10,000 years ago, the Altarian Guardians visit a moon in the A47 galaxy. I knew that sounded familiar, but I needed to look it up. Back in Forever Rangers, we saw Alpha on the third planet in the A47 galaxy. So that's Earth. So this is the moon. Our moon.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
The Guardians smash in, demanding to know who is inside and what their business is. This old tree-looking sweeper dude says, purple.
Excuse me, the f did you just say?
The Guardians don't understand, and the sweeper points them down a hallway.
The sleeper has awakened!
Not the sleeper, the sweep... You know what, never mind. Hey, I made that joke about the sweeper before this guy did, saying Zordon can wait with the sweeper. Zophram says this palace is what the Hartoonians were looking for, and he can feel something dangerous and powerful. They wander into a chamber with a white crystal, and someone near the crystal says, green. Yes, that's true, but I fail to see how that addresses the issue for small businesses. The way everyone is lined up, the Guardians realize they were expected. The main guy now says yellow, and shows them that when he holds an apple seed and touches the crystal, the seed springs to life, instantly growing an apple, which he gives to Zophram, while saying, red. Zordon realizes why they've come, and so might you if you remember Season 3 of MMPR leading into Zeo. and or the 2017 Power Rangers movie. The palace on the moon used to be a fortress of good, which guarded the Zeo Crystal. Zordon says if that is the Zeo Crystal, they must keep it from Dark Spectre.
Back to reality.
In the present, the Rangers and their guardian friend, whose name will surely come to me eventually, are fighting both the putties and human soldiers. Well, Tommy and Matt are having Wizard of Deception round 2. Matt says he knows how this looks and he is actually sorry, but they just need to lay their weapons down and come quietly. Tommy, of course, refuses. Goldar, always itching for a fight, is pleased. Tommy is ready for this fight, not feeling that Matt is a real Power Ranger and always ready to face off with Goldar. But he's interrupted by Kim telling him to stick to the plan. He starts to say that he can take them both, but she tells him to grow up. They need to save the city, so he needs to go before he ends up with an arrow in that pretty white helmet. Tommy, Aisha, and What's-Her-Face take off running, with Guardian Girl dropping a flashbang to cover their escape.
You fool!
Rocky realizes that nobody told him what they are supposed to do after this, and Kim says to follow her lead. She then takes Matt up on his offer, surrendering. Matt stops his forces, but Goldar takes the chance to smack at him. Matt stops a sword attack, saying he knows the rules. Goldar says he supposes Matt would tell on him, and Matt asks him what Zed would do. Goldar agrees, saying they can show the Rangers what they've done with Angel Grove. Billy tells Alpha to do about 14 things at once, so he can do another 27 things at once. Zordon tells him to take a breath. He's stressed about sending people off to fight while he stays there, and you know, I never really put together that Billy wasn't actually at the fight. Huh. He asks Zordon how he does it, and Zordon tells the story from his time as a Guardian. He once asked the Supreme Guardian the same question, and he said soldiers are like birds. You can tell them everything you know, but once they leave the nest, they are going to decide if they fly or not. Zordon knows the feeling. Supreme Guardians usually commanded their troops from a distance, maneuvering the war like playing chess. But Zophram was always right out in front, commanding the troops, and being friends with Zordon until the bitter end. Zordon says he died like he lived, protecting his soldiers. And then, something we've always suspected but never heard said outright, if he could, Zordon would rather be fighting right alongside the Rangers. But he'll never have that chance. Moved by this, Billy seems to want to admit to Zordon what he did with the Dragon Coin, but is once again interrupted by a signal.
Oh, come on!
It's Zardis from Eltar, and he and Zordon banter for a bit. Zordon drops the whole, hey, why were you doing supervision on Earth without telling me thing, and Zardis says it was necessary to not let Lord Zedd know they were there. The Altarians have encountered a new threat that call themselves Imperials. Hey, would you imagine that? The Imperials really are a threat. You want to start on that apology letter now, Zordon? They destroy planets across the galaxy, and many Altarian lives have been lost trying to stop them. Zordon says he will help however he can. Zophram says he's glad to hear that, because the Altarian forces are coming to Earth. They are going to deal with Lord Zedd, and then bring Earth into the Altarian Alliance to help deal with the Imperials. Zordon is unsure, since humanity is such a young species. Zophram says they can't afford to wait. And he wants Zordon to come home.
Things that make you go,
Back in Angel Grove, an old woman crosses the street when a young thug steals her purse, even mockingly saying next time she should call the Rangers. But then he's stopped by a monster, Fleececo. Fleececo gives the purse back to the woman and says the young man will be reprimanded. Tommy, Aisha, and whoever she is are very confused.
I get it.
I don't get it.
They are in disguise, observing the city quietly, and what they see is strange. Zed's forces are helping rebuild the city. Putties rebuilding buildings, Babu planting a tree, monsters keeping the peace. Well, at least Bulk and Skull are still doing what they do, though Candace, that's her name, Candace, that's at least one of her names, has to hide from them. In fact, they ask her about them, and she lies, saying she couldn't find them. What's worse is that Tommy seemed to just be allowing her to do this, saying he knows she's worried about Skull, but right now they have to focus. Aisha says this doesn't seem right, and it's so peaceful that maybe they should get a sense of Zed's motive. Maybe he's trying to be a hero.
No, I don't think so.
Tommy agrees with the cutaway gag, saying Zed is up to something. And there's a greater point. Regardless of Zed's motive, if they don't get the shield down, the city is gonna get nuked, so they had better get to work. The other three Rangers are taken to Promethea, where giant Chaos Putties and the Dragon Zord stand guard. Goldar pokes Rocky down the hall, annoying him. Matt tries to get everyone to calm down, insisting they're on the same side. The Rangers know Goldar is on the wrong side and are not sure about Matt. He just says, it's complicated. Grace interrupts, basically accusing the Rangers of abandoning them. Kim accuses her of sacrificing the city to save herself, but she points out that the city is full of survivors with access to technology that is rebuilding the city. Zed has given them far more than Zordon ever has. Kim asks what she gave Zed in return, but she ignores the question, pointing out to Goldar that there are only 3 Rangers here. Matt says the other 3's next move is obvious.
I've got it. Arson!
The Tiger Zord is collapsed in the middle of the city and is now a photo op. 1 photo for 7 or 2 for 10. Dang, when I sold photos at the theme park, ours was 1 photo for 18, 2 for 23. That's a steal right there. Aisha is upset about it, but Candace basically tells her to ignore it. Or rather, to remind the people that the Rangers are still around. They leap over to the Zord. They're about to try something, but get shot at by Squat, who says he finally set a trap properly. The two take on Chaos Putties, Candace talking about taking on some weird alien monster. The two are a distraction, allowing Tommy to head to the Tiger Zord and morph. Saba attempts to reactivate the Zord, but the shield is blocking the solar energy required to restart it. That seems odd. It's light out. If you can see in the city, it seems like at least some sunlight is getting through, but maybe it's actually a certain type of solar radiation anyway. This will make even less sense. Tommy calls Candace and she does her part, powering up her sword and doing something.
The museum! Something's happening to it!
It works and the Zord starts powering up. Aisha asks when it'll be battle ready. This punch down on an unsuspecting Chaos Putty would suggest that it's ready now. Squat freaks out, understandably, and Tommy takes the Tiger Zord towards the energy pillar. As Aisha tells him to be careful, we see a building start to transform into a Chaos Putty. This apparently is Lord Zedd, or at least controlled and voiced by Zedd. It jumps the Tiger Zord and the two start fighting. Zedd says he's known where all 6 Rangers were the entire time, but wanted them to see what he's done. He claims the city is his now as more buildings transform, and says there's only one way the Rangers can get it back. At Promethea, they are watching the Zord fight, which isn't going well for Tommy. Kim appeals to Matt, asking him to stop this. He just says he's sorry, and she punches him for it. Then a portal opens, and Zed walks out, asking what the Rangers think of his utopia.
10 out of 10.
The Rangers get ready to fight, telling Zed he's created a prison. But he says he didn't make the shield to keep people in, but to get the Rangers out. He says humanity was drawn into a battle it has nothing to do with. So he made Grace a deal, one she has agreed to. He will leave Earth and never set foot on it again, in exchange for Zordon. This is quite an issue as the story really starts to twist. I really like what they're doing with the sense of morality, which you mainly see conveyed through Aisha's doubts. In this case, it looks like the Rangers are the agents of violence, constantly wanting to fight, while Zed is supposedly an agent of peace. All the Rangers have to do is surrender Zordon and the war will come to the end, though the holes in that story are pretty readily apparent. A nice blend of action and plot. This was good stuff. Mighty Morphin, issue number 7, gets a 4.5 out of 5. Next time on a comically long review, can Nathan make more progress on his novel? Is it another day of ride-sharing people around Chicago? Or are there superhero activities to get to? Find out in my review of Radiant Black, issue number 4. That is going to do it for another comically long review. Thank you, heroes, so much as always for watching. Now that the video's done, you can let me know what you thought of this issue, as well as my review of it, down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button to let me know that you enjoyed this video. And if you'd like to lend any financial support to my channel, check me out on Patreon or Ko-fi, Orange Ranger videos, or check out my Teespring store and get some nice merch just like that. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. You might remember me mentioning that I switched from getting my comics locally. You know what, never mind. Shoot. Can Nathan make more progress on his